Apple may be preparing for its next generation of the iPhone. I'm Deborah Kan. You're watching Asia Today. I'm joined now by Asia Tech editor Juro Osawa. Okay, Juro, we've heard the iPhone 5 may have a bigger screen, but what do we know?
So we heard that Apple has placed orders for mobile screens that are larger than the current iPhone screens, and people say it's at least 4 inches as opposed to 3.5 for the current iPhone.
Okay, is this surprising given the fact that some of Apple's competitors like Samsung have larger smartphone devices? I mean, is this a sign that maybe Apple is copying its competitors and actually threatened by the competition?
Well, on one hand, it's true that the market is very crowded now with all different kinds of smartphones that come in different sizes, but not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean that Apple is being threatened. And Apple's strength lies more in the fact that it has all the applications and user interface, the whole ecosystem it has built around the iPhone. And other companies haven't been as successful to do that. So this larger display, isn't necessarily the defining feature of the new iPhone. Okay,
but you take Samsung, for example, Apple's big competitor in this space. How are the sales of the Galaxy, the larger screen, doing for Samsung?
Samsung's Galaxy phones are doing really well, and it's really helping Samsung's earnings as well. And but that doesn't necessarily mean it's because it's larger. And other companies are also making larger phones, larger than the iPhone. For example, Nokia, HTC, other smartphone brands, but they aren't necessarily doing as well. And if you look at the overall market, it's increasingly dominated by Apple and Samsung.
Okay, so we know from components manufacturers that Apple's asked them to make larger screens, but I guess the question that everyone really wants to know is, when will the next generation come out? And given the fact, if you look at past manufacturing versus when the phone actually appeared on market, what is the time duration?
Some of the suppliers we've spoken to say it usually takes a month and a half to 2 months before the phone's going to be ready to go or assembled. But when Apple will launch the phone, it's up to Apple.
Okay, so they can sit on it for a while.
They could.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Thank you so much, Juro Osawa in Hong Kong.